Have you ever struggled to persuade people to get your products or your offer and you wonder what you're missing out? Or do you want to know the secret to influence people to get your product or to shout yes to your offer? That is why today we'll be talking about 5 principles of persuasion and influence. Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am Mary, and on this channel I teach business owners and aspiring copywriters or marketers how to write copies that will convert their leads into buying customers or that will build trust, credibility, and authority. So let's dive straight into it. Today we'll be talking about 5 principles of persuasion and influence. And number 1 principle is take the blame off their shoulders. But before we go straight into that, are you wondering what it means? Like what this 5 principles means? Logically, like we discussed the last time, when you write copy, people cannot just take a decision because of your copy. If the copy does not influence their decision, if the copy does not speak to them or does not influence the way they think or the feel, it won't persuade them to take that decision. Now that is why we'll be talking about these principles, like the strategies you have to put in place for them to be able to take that desired action. Now number 1 is take the blame off their shoulders. Naturally, nobody loves to be blamed, and I'm going to use a very good example I'll be using today is myself. If anyone told me that this is what you're doing wrong or you're not right to have done this, the first thing that comes to my head is how to raise 1001 reason why I think what I did wasn't wrong, which logically it's not supposed to be so. Especially when you know that you have done something wrong, naturally you should accept, but nobody loves to be blamed. That's the point I'm just trying to make out of this. Nobody loves to be blamed. So when you're writing your copy, shift the blame off their shoulder. Just let them know that they are not to be blamed. If because you're going through this thing, because they are stuck, because they are having an issue, just tell them it is not their fault. They are not to be blamed for this. That is number 1 principle. Make sure that when you're writing your copy, move the blame off their shoulders. They are not to be blamed. That way you'll be able to persuade them to take an action. Number 2 is find a common enemy. Find a common enemy. Let's say for instance you are selling a weight loss program and you want to persuade this person to buy your weight loss program. Let the person know that it is not their fault that they are gaining weight. No, it is probably the fault of all these people that processes food. They are processed in a way that it is not organic anymore, and because it's not organic, we are all going through this problem of weight gain. So it is not their fault that they are gaining that weight. Now this is something you can use to persuade them. Find a common enemy. Tell them that we are all going through this thing because of this person. It could be because of a system, it could be because of a parastatal. Let them know that they are going through this thing because of these certain people, or because of this system, or because of what is going on presently in the country. Like our economy, you can actually use that. They are going through poverty or whatever you're selling because of the economy system, and it is not their fault. So number 2 principle is what? Find a common enemy. Now number 3 principle is give people hope. Give people hope. You will find people where they can find hope, that there is a vision for them, there is a purpose for them, there is a better tomorrow for them. If you can let people know that if they do this, if they take this step, or if they are able to go through the systematic approach that you went through to come out of this problem, if they can do the same thing, they are going to get solution to their problem. So basically, just give them hope. Let them have it at the back of their mind that sorry about that, this will happen to them if they take this action. So give people hope. Let them know that there is hope that they can get out of their problem. Now when your copy embodies that, people naturally want to take action. Now number 4 is confirm an already existing belief and suspicion. And a very good example I'll be using here is, let's say for instance you you have been trying to get out of a problem, and You have been suspecting that people in your village are the one doing you. You know all this kind of suspicion that we usually have, especially when we think that we have spiritual problem. And let's now say, for instance, you now went to church. At the church during the service, the pastor was preaching or the prophet was preaching, and the prophet just made mention that, oh, you have been thinking that this is the person doing you, or this is the person that is, alleviating your problem. And because you're already suspecting in your head, naturally you feel like, oh, this man is talking to me. And let's understand, this man told you of a solution. When you get home, use water and oil. By this time tomorrow, you will hear from your village. If you hear from your village, that means by the time you leave that church, you feel like, oh, I think this is me, and you did everything you were told to do. And luckily for you, you were able to get solution to your problem. What happens to the pastor? You build trust for this pastor. There is credibility for this pastor because he's able to work, because it's able to confirm the things that you're already suspecting. So in your copy, if you can, that is why quality research is good it's good when you're writing a copy. You need to do quality research, and we're going to talk about that in some other episode. So when you have done your quality research, you can easily get in the head of these people and know that this is exactly what they are going through right now. So if you can write about, okay, what they're already suspecting that is wrong with them, write it in their copy. Like, oh, I know that you are stuck right now. I know that you are passing through this thing because of this. I know that, when your copy embodies things like that, they naturally want to take what they want to take a decision. They will either want to buy your product, they will either want to, join your webinar, whatever you are putting out there for them. The whole thing is just that they will take action. Now the fifth principle, which is solve their fear. Of course, you are writing to solve whatever they are going through. Now they already have fear that they are going through this thing. How will my life be in the next 5 years, or what will I go through in the next 1 year? You already have this fear of the unknown. So for you to come to them with a solution that you can do this for them. And if they see, don't come with a general solution. You need to embody your solution as something that is so different. There must be a unique proposition in your solution, something that is so different that if they go for this solution, their problems will be over. So your solution must be unique. Your solution must be special, that they want to go for it immediately because they need that fear that they are going through to be out of their life just immediately. Now, these 5 principles are very key when it comes to persuading people with your copy. Don't forget what we talked about in the last episode when we talked about copywriting, and we said copywriting is you writing to persuade people to take action. Now, for you to be able to persuade them to take action, that persuasion embodied these 5 principles, these 5 strategies and ways of thinking. Now, the first strategy is that take the blame off their shoulder. The second one, find a common enemy. The third one, give people hope. The fourth one, confirm their already existing belief or suspicion. Now, the fifth one, solve their fear. If you can do this 5 things, if your copy can embody these 5 principles, then you'll be able to persuade them to take an action. I hope you've been able to learn from today's episode. I hope to see you in my next one. Thank you very much. Take care.